Alright, guys. So, it was brought to my attention, and I thought about this too, but not really super in depth until it was brought up to me again in the comment section of the last video. But the Despia field spell might be better than Branded in Red, which sounds dumb when I say it. But if you normal summon a Luber, obviously this could be Branded opening as well, but a Luber will go down the traditional route we would play. Obviously, grab ourselves Branded in Red, because we're doing the traditional route first. Use Souls, send DM, special summon Souls, activate Branded Fusion. Branded Fusion will do the Albion play by sending Albaz and Mana. Albion will then obviously summon your copy of Dragoon. But here's where it gets a little tricky with Branded in Red. Obviously, in this scenario, you have two cards in your hand. If this is off-branded opening, you have one. But if you have branded opening, you want to banish your copy of Albion and then add back your copy of Fallen Albaz, because that guarantees you have a Dragoon negate, right? But in this particular scenario, you still want to banish Albion, because Branded in Red will recycle your copy of Fallen Albaz. So now, on Summon Dragoon, which you should never summon Dragoon up here, activate your copy of Branded in Red, add back Albaz, fusion summon using Aliber and Souls in the Masquerade. So this guarantees you have the Dragoon negate off of 3 cards with Masquerade and Dragoon. And you still have 2 cards in your hand, depending on if this is off-branded opening or not, and if you sent cards to draw off Souls. But now let's get into the theater play. Alright, so obviously it doesn't matter if you do Souls or Aluber first, but normal summon Aluber, Aliber, however you want to pronounce it, will search you the Despia field spell. And you can activate your copy of Magician Souls, send DM, and special summon DM. Now another interaction that's kind of cool here is if you summon him off an opening and you have Rod, normal Rod search Soul Servant. So you would have Branded Fusion, him, and this. Obviously you'd have to have opening and Branded Fusion. You could fuse with a Luber and Rod in the Masquerade and then send this and Soul Servant. You search off Rod, off Souls, for a draw 2. Not necessarily bad, right? But then obviously we're going to activate our copy of Branded Fusion. Same play, Albion. And we'll send Fallen Albaz. In this scenario, we don't have to banish Albion. The reason for that being, we're not having to recycle off Branded in Red to be able to fusion summon from Grave. So, Albion's obviously going to activate, summoning Dragoon. So, in this scenario, we will banish Albaz and DM. Then you can activate the Despia Theater, the Branded, fusing your copy of Aliber and Souls in the Masquerade. And this does have a niche battle phase effect, which is okay. Not during your battle phase, during your opponent's battle phase. But it's okay, right? Neither one is really bad. I would argue that, well, this in particular combo, the field spell might be better, right? I feel like Branded in Red might still be better because it lets you resolve Chimera on your opponent's turn, but we don't always resolve Chimera, and it's kind of hard for us to do. So maybe you just go down to field spell route, and you know, it's also a poly, so in theory, there is another interaction with this you could do. And I'll show it really quick. Alright, this is pretty much a suboptimal hand. We opened 3 cards that would be considered bricks. But now let's say you normal summon your copy of Rod. Rod will grab you your copy of Soul Servant, right? Activate the Despia field spell. Alright, we're not going to change Soul Servant. Instead, you're going to activate Despia Theater of the Branded. Still not activating Soul Servant. Summoning the Dark Magicians. Then you can obviously chain your Soul Servant, which will stack you whatever you really want. In this case, it could get you souls. which is honestly probably the best play. The Dark Magicians will then activate that, getting you souls. Souls will then activate, sending mana to special summon souls. Souls can now send the field spell away, get you a draw, then banish Soul Servant, get you 2 more draws. So it does have some interactions even in brick hands where it might not be optimal, especially if you're using Rod as your primary normal summon. But this would also in turn revolve playing 1 of the Dark Magicians and 2 in a brick hand. But then again, it's still kind of not that bad because we ended up replacing the 3 cards we used with 2 on field. Another interaction I like about this card. Alright, last interaction with the Despia field spell I feel like is worth mentioning. Now, this could be from a Luber or, well, a Luber because it's going to have to search. Even off opening, you still have a Luber. But now let's say we go for Lebellion, right? We activate Branded Fusion, summon Lebellion. I don't have a card to discard, but it's not going to matter. For this particular test hand, we summon Lebellion. Now, let's say we activate Lebellion and discard a card. I'm not going to do it here for the premise of the point. Alright? So Lebellion's impermed, Veil or whatever. We send a discard. You know, no, we actually didn't. But we have Lebellion on field, right? Lebellion's a 3k booty, right? He's not necessarily bad, but if we have a way to DM through Souls or Illusion of Chaos, and obviously a Luber, to search this, or if we just hard open it, you can then activate Despia Theater to Branded, activate your effect of Magician's Soul, send your other copy of DM, send Souls to the graveyard, summon DM, activate the Despia Field spell, which will summon, guess what? Dragoon. Or Dragostapelia, as you can see there. So I think it has a lot more interactions in the deck, and it could, in some cases, be better. But let me know what you guys think about this. Let me know if you guys think we should still rely on Rod as our primary normal summon, or Aliber, or Luber, however you want to say it. Also, if you're new to the channel, subscribe. We're getting close to 300. I'd like to hit maybe, I don't know, 350 by Christmas. I don't know if that'll happen or not, because on the 28th, I'm posting Modern Warfare 2, along with Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm not going to quit posting Yu-Gi-Oh! But anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments, and peace.